Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Sunday school devotion. You have found your way to St. John United Church of Christ here in Indianapolis, and I'm Pastor Jana Myers. I am so grateful that you have stumbled across this video, that you have carved out time to be with us, that you have calendared us in so that you wake up every morning at 9 on Sundays just to be here. However you managed to get here, I am super excited and incredibly grateful that you did it. And I am going to try to get quiet because that is the title of our devotion this morning. That is our goal, I guess. I'm not very good at being quiet, so you'll have to see how it goes. But this morning's Sunday school devotion comes to us from Pastor Anna Cansfield, and we found it on the UCC Daily Devotional webpage at ucc.org way last year, 2021. You can find it in our church email, which comes out every Thursday. That link right below worship is Sunday school materials. You can also find it posted on our Facebook page as well as our church family Facebook page. So however you find it, go ahead and grab it, read along with us, or just listen, and you can catch it in any of those places if you want to reflect on it later in your week. Our focus verse this morning is Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. Our author writes, our church feeds people every Wednesday night. We provide a community meal, better known in the neighborhood as the soup kitchen. We get all kinds of folks, and occasionally someone arrives who's had a bit too much to drink or a particularly difficult day. They get into a fight, and someone calls me, the pastor, to try to bring about some peace. Early on, I thought the most effective way to break up such a fight involves strength and force. I'd arrive in the middle of the fight, loud and threatening. It didn't really work well. Then someone suggested getting quiet in order to be heard. Over time, I've learned that when there's a lot of chaos, even the angriest person is far more apt to respond to quiet confidence. It's counterintuitive, but lowering my voice often gets their attention. And the struggle to hear what I'm saying often creates enough space to restore a bit of calm to the situation. Life is full of noise, responsibilities, obligations, and often a television is on in the background. It can make it hard to listen for God. Perhaps that's why God seems to speak most often in a still, quiet voice. It's a level of volume that might help us to slow down, get quiet, and be still. I have to admit this is hard, and it has yet to sink in. I'm not good at getting quiet. I'm not good at slowing down. I like to have things, well, not at full volume, but at many volumes. One of my favorite things to do is to drive to church while listening to the news and 40s classic big band music at the same time. So I'll put the radio on the music, and then I'll put my phone on the news, and I'll listen to all of it simultaneously while talking to myself about my day. It is an obscene amount of noise, and no one ever wants to carpool with me. I wonder why. But I have found that sometimes it's just the way to get things done. To do all the things at once, maybe to multitask, if you would say, normal waking up routine. You can imagine how hard it was for me when I decided to go on a silent retreat. This was a few years ago, and I decided that I would drive to St. Mary's of the Wood. I decided that my silent retreat should start the moment I got in the car. I drove for an hour, and I wasn't allowed to talk to myself. I wasn't allowed to play the radio, and I just sat there and drove, but I didn't do anything else. I will tell you that I paid more attention necessarily the road. I pay good attention to the road, but the surroundings. I noticed trees I'd never seen before. I've driven this road hundreds of times. I'd never seen them before. There was a barn that I still remember. I still remember this drive vividly because I was attending to it and I wasn't distracted. Distracted is the wrong word. I wasn't trying to do all the things. I was just doing the one thing of driving. And as I drove, I looked out the window. Saw the cars in front of me, saw the semi-trucks behind, the grain blowing in the wind, the flock of birds that flew overhead. And it was astonishing how restorative it was just to go for the drive. The whole weekend was amazing, and I remember it very fondly and very powerfully. But it was the most impactful moment was the getting there. The doing something that I never would have thought of doing. Being quiet in my car, not because someone made me be quiet, but because I made me be quiet. The closeness that I felt to myself, to the world, to God, was powerful. And I backed right track. That in the world's noise and anxiety and frustration and loudness, sometimes the best response is not to try to shout more, but to try to be quiet. To try to see how we can instill that still, small, speaking voice, a voice of kindness, a voice of love, a voice of hope into a world that feels often divisive and angry. What if we are the quiet ones, speaking calm reason into a world filled with what seems like angry soup kitchen chaos? I think we could do this. I think we could be, as Christians, the quiet, calm, hopeful, confident voices. But I think it starts by us trying it first to see how powerful it is. So I want to give you some homework, because you might be like me. You might be someone who loves many things simultaneously. Loud, overwhelming, the whole thing. You might like to schedule your day back to back to back to back to back, or you might like to have like 45 different activities all in 1 week. If you are, I want you to try to do just one thing a day. Like for maybe just 2 days. Pick a weekend, because you'll still have to go to work and do your other stuff. But pick 2 days in a row. Saturday, Sunday, maybe those things are church. Maybe they're outside time. Maybe it's reconnecting with family. But whatever you pick, just pick one thing. Do less. Now, what if you're really good at already not doing a lot of things? I want you to try the next level up. I want you to try to only have like 1 day of a quiet day where you don't listen to the radio, you don't watch TV, you don't do the news. What if you took a whole day off, like a whole silent retreat? What would that be like for you? What would it be like if you were quiet for the whole day? What would you hear? What would you see? What would you notice? So this is my challenge for you, that if you're a really busy person, to scale back to one thing. And if you're a really loud person, to try to turn the noise down, to be quiet for 1 day. You get to pick the day, you get to pick the parameters of this challenge. But I hope you will do it. Because I think by experiencing the power of being quiet, you will see how we can be powerful, quiet voices for God in a loud, chaotic world. So, once you've picked your challenge, quiet day or no schedules, I want you to text me or email me or write me about it, call me and let me know how it went. Because I imagine that if you do this, it will be an overwhelmingly powerful experience. And I'm very sure that you're up for it. Once you're quiet and unscheduled, we'll get together and be loud and do all the things together. But give it a try. One day of being quiet. Be still and know that God is God. Would you pray with me? Holy One, speak to me in a quiet voice so that I, in turn, must slow down in order to listen. Amen. I hope that you take this next time to be quiet. You've got, 30 minutes? You could still get an extra cup of coffee, go to the bathroom, and come back, and still have time to be quiet. Wherever you are, to turn off the noise, turn off the phone, turn off the TV, turn off the computer. Set an egg timer, and meet me back here at 10 o'clock after you have been quiet and still and experienced God. I'll see you at 10. Bye, guys.